page 51 in our table of contents, volume and surface area. Once we've got that written down, we can turn to page 45 for our objectives. So page 45. Bless you. We can add to our objectives. My paper is taking a hit.
What happened?
I don't know.
He probably accidentally two papers together.
So, I will cover it up and tell us our objectives. So, our objectives. Find volume and surface area. So we're finding volume and surface area. We will be working with different three-dimensional shapes and finding their volume and surface areas. We're going to work with cubes, rectangular prisms, yep, cylinders, spheres, pyramids, and cones. So we'll be finding volume and surface area, or volume or surface area of these particular objects, these particular shapes. I believe so. So we'll be working and getting as far as we can today through the different formulas of these. Did they do this last year in 6th grade? This long? So some of this will be a review of probably cubes, but for the most part, a lot of this will be new. So we're turning to page 51. And at the top of the page, volume and surface area. So we're going to talk about the volume and surface area of shapes. It glitched a little, we're good. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a cube. What do we know about a cube?
That it's three-dimensional.
It's three-dimensional. It's 6 squares. What about their sides? What do we know about their sides?
Every area and stuff of each side is equal.
So all sides are equal. The area of each face is equal. So all sides are equal. And I can go ahead and show you how to draw this in your notebook. There are 2 different ways you can draw a cube. One of them, draw a square. Once again, not all objects are going to be drawn perfectly. So you draw a square, and then you can draw another square of the same shape, same size, and connect the 4 points. Or, the way I do it, is you draw your square, draw your depth, connect your points. I'll move in a second. So you can draw a square, and then draw your depth, and make your dotted line for the 3-dimensional object. So that's the 2 different ways you can draw it. On your homework, you will not be expected to draw it. That's given to you. So just kind of plug in, substitute our values into our formulas that we find. So, as we're talking about cubes, like I said, and like Colin and Paige and Skylar and Luke and everybody has talked about, a cube, all sides are equal. So we have a 6-sided figure where all sides and faces are equal. So we're talking about surface area and volume. First, we're going to take a look at surface area.
What would like a three-dimensional rectangle be called?
A three-dimensional rectangular prism.
Oh yeah.
So surface area. Surface area can be abbreviated to SA. And how do you think we're going to find the surface area? The area of all the surfaces of a cube.
You can just find the one square and multiply that.
So in a cube there are 6 sides. All the areas of each face are going to be the same. So we find the area of one square and multiply that by 6. So we'll have a base, a width, and a height. And B, W, and H are all going to be the same length. So we'll do base times height, base times width, side times side. Remember from last week I had that PowerPoint where they're different terminology, but find the area of one square is the idea. I'm going to write base times height. So base times height, and we're going to multiply that by 6. It could be base times height, side times side, length times width. Lots of different options for us here, but just know that we're finding the surface area of a cube. Find the area of one face, one square, multiply that by 6. Good so far?
Yes.
All right, good. So the surface area is base times height times 6. And what would be our units here? What would be the notation? Units, since it's area, it's squared. So now we can talk about volume. So we're looking at volume of a cube. How would we find the volume of a cube?
Base times width times height.
We can do base times width times height, or side times side, or length times width times height.
Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever terminology you decide to use, fine by me. As long as you understand that all sides are equal. When we multiply base times width times height, or side times side times side. So in volume, what do we think our units are going to be? Units cubed. So units to the third power. So that's how we find the volume of a cube. Any questions on cubes?
Yep.
Now let's move on to rectangular prisms. So once again, how we draw a rectangular prism, you can draw 2 rectangles and connect all 4 points. Or you can draw a rectangle, draw its depth, and then make the dotted lines for the other lengths. Once again, I know a lot of us are perfectionists. Don't spend your whole time drawing the object, drawing the shape. On our homework, I do not expect you to draw it. I just expect you to understand the formula and substitute it in. So on homework, I need to see the formula, our values substituted in. You do not have to draw the shape. So a rectangular prism, once again, will have some form of length of a base, some form of a width, and some form of a height, or a length, a width, and a height, the side 1, side 2, and side 3. How do you think this will differ